I have no clue who on earth they were. It's like in 40 years and we have kids and we're just like, oh, these are the people from Scouting for Girls, you know? And they'll just be like, yeah, whatever.
As Britain reached the year of Orwell's nightmare, Big Brother wasn't watching us. Yet. But we were watching more. Television was now broadcasting at breakfast time and on a 4th channel. And technology was giving us far more choice over what we watched and when. A video cassette recorder was now found in almost 1/3 of British households, even though, just as with home computers, consumers were caught in the crossfire between conflicting technologies.
The real video war isn't fought against invaders from outer space. It's battled out on the high streets of Britain. It's all a matter of format.
The tech team have to decide which tape format the family will get. With hindsight, VHS clearly seems the most future-proof choice, but back in 1984, Betamax still held 1/4 of the market.
Hello.
Hello, I'm Gia.
Hi, Andy.
Andy Hain has pieced together an entire history of the video recorder, and he keeps it in his garden shed.
Wow. Come in.
Oh my goodness.
It's nice to know someone who knows what they're looking at.
Andy currently has 74 machines, and not just the 2 formats everyone remembers. He also has a staggering 19 alternatives, such as the Laserdisc player.
Just amazing technology. It's a great big laser tube in there. It's not a solid-state laser, it's a gas laser. So it's a huge, great laser tube inside. Very rare because there's very few of those still working in the world that I know of.
What other formats were there in the 80s?
Philips developed the Video 2000, and these used tapes that you could turn over. So right from the start, you had 3 hours on a side. So 6 hours total.
Do you have a tape?
They're pretty much the same size as a VHS cassette.
It looks like an audio cassette, and I'm very tiny.
Well, in fact, Philips invented the audio cassette as well, so this was their video equivalent of an audio cassette.
Right.
By the time they got to the market, VHS and Beta were already fighting their war, and they kind of ended up being also ran.
Everyone knows the story that Betamax was superior quality, but VHS won out. What's your take on that whole thing?
It was largely marketing. The Sony Betamax, they presented it as a quality system. VHS was a little bit more aimed at the average man in the street. And when you're talking about hundreds of pounds, thousands of pounds in today's money, there was obviously a temptation to rent if there was 2 formats fighting. VHS was easier to rent, the tapes were easier to rent, and that became popular. And it very quickly pushed Betamax down.
And so, was there actually a difference between the picture quality between the 2 of them?
In a laboratory, yes. For the average person, probably not, no.
The logical choice, then, in 1984, is the VHS.
When the tech team send their choice to the house, they add an extra video treat for the kids.
Oh, wow.
It's one of the very first camcorders, from the firm that invented VHS.
Dibs being cameraman, and you two can be like the pop girls.
There's 136 pages of instructions, so seeing as you want to be the cameraman, there you go.
Mammoth manuals became a common sight during the 80s. Though technology now offered advanced features, it hadn't yet cracked making them easy to use.
Where's the on switch?
And that bit goes somewhere.
That's quite heavy.
To test drive the video player, Ellie fetches a gift from the night before, Ultravox live in concert.
Oh, it's smaller. Hopefully it still fits. Sideways a bit. Other way a bit. It's too small, Hamish.
You know why it's too small, Ellie? Because that is a VHS and you're trying to put a Betamax in it. You know Blu-ray and normal DVDs?
Yes.
You're not trying to put a Blu-ray into a normal DVD player. It's not going to work.
Hi!
The task of finding a tape the machine will actually play quickly gets passed on.
I need to go and get a video.
Any preference?
For VHS. Something good.
Tricky 3rd gear.
Adam and his 80s escort may have quite a journey ahead of them.
It feels quite strange to me, having got back from quite a long day of working, to be off in the car in search of a film, when in modern day I'm a member of a DVD film club, so I get DVDs through the post, which is very good because you don't even have to go out from your door.
But video rental shops were a boom business in the early 80s. The UK boasted precisely none at the start of the decade. A couple of years later, it had 25,000. As a result, many cinemas closed.
I'm looking for VHS videos, films.
Okay, we haven't done them for about 3 to 4 years. They've sort of gone out. DVD has taken over now, so we only stock DVD.
I promised the kids I'd get them a film tonight because we've only just got a video recorder. Is there anywhere around here I could possibly get one?
I can't, no.
There's one other video shop we can go to. Might as well give that a go before we give up all hope.
Dad is at the video shop still after about 2 hours, literally, because he doesn't have a phone with him. We can't like call him up and say, "Where are you?" We're a bit bored now.
Adam's finally found an old independent store.
Hello.
With no VHS tapes on its shelves either. But the owner does keep a few under the counter. It's ex-rental stock he's selling off.
Oh, I'm just going to get the poundage.
Back in 1984, very few people bought rather than rented.
Buy those. Thank you very much. How much would that be?
The average retail price then was £60. That's £150 in today's money.
Kids!
What is that?
Shh, it's coming on. Shh.
It's not coming on.
It doesn't look any different to the screen look before you put it in, though, really, does it?
Was it working earlier when we got it here?
It was at one point.
Ellie neglects to mention her earlier vigorous attempts to force a Betamax tape into the VHS machine.
It's not going round, so there's clearly something not right with it.
Yeah, you were trying pressing a button called play.
Is it rewound?
Nothing ever works.
Yeah.
Find out.
No good. It's not working. Having spent all that time rushing around trying to get these videos and then for it not to work was a little bit of a letdown, to be honest with you.
The next day, the tech team collect the broken machine for repair.
Here you go.
So what's the problem?
Well, it doesn't work.
The early VHS machines weren't incredibly reliable, and one of the suggestions was that you get it serviced every 6 months.
Really?
Really?
Every 6 months?
Every 6 months.
In fact, 25% of VHS machines needed to be repaired in their first year of life. For other formats, the rate was even higher.
Stick the cable on the top. Oh, that is heavy.
It is heavy.
But CPR for the VCR isn't the only reason Gia's come to call.
Okay, Adam, I've got you a surprise. I've got you a new set of wheels.
Really? Now that is good news.
It is. Okay, Adam, here's what we've got you.
You're joking. That is unbelievable. I didn't think there would be that many that actually worked still.
There's so many!
1985 saw the launch of the C5, the most famous technological flop of the decade.
Oh, man.
I'm gobsmacked.
Creating an electric vehicle had been the dream of Clive Sinclair long before he made his fortune with computers and calculators.
We've got chaos on our roads. I don't believe that the forms of transport we have today can long survive.
Sinclair's plan was to use the profits from the C5 to fund production of a full-sized electric car. But less than 17,000 were ever sold. These enthusiasts would like to persuade Adam their motors are more than just a retro joke.
So what's his top speed?
Around 15 miles an hour. You can get a little bit more if you're really pedal crazy, but 15's about the going rate.
Why do you think it didn't succeed in 1985?
If it had been released now, where cities have got more cycle paths and areas where you could actually use these sort of things, it might have been a different story to the one that turned out, you know. Idea ahead of its time.
So this is the 1985 vision of the future. Everyone has a C5, and I'm going to send you out shopping in one of these to get the experience of the future.